Welcome to Blaine Soccer Stadium for the first time in 2024. Minnesota United FC2 taking on St. Louis City 2 here to get match week 8 rolling in the MLS Next Pro season. An entire slew of action here on this Friday, and I'm Jack Edwards, delighted to be with you for this one. These two teams coming into this one in a bit of differing sets of form. For Minnesota, it's one win through 4 games in the league after a cup run ended back in early April. For St. Louis City, they lost their first match of the season, but since then, unbeaten in 5 matches. They're in a great run of form with 12 points at this point on the season. Going to be an interesting test for them. It's the first home match of the year for Minnesota United after 4 matches on the road in the league to get things going. They came away with that with 3 points, and here are the lineups. First for Minnesota United FC, coming off a 4-1 defeat at Sporting KC2. They make 3 changes. Oliver Kelly is in goal, making his professional debut after Kai Zaroon made his professional debut last time out, so a tweak in goal there as well. Justin Arias and Finn McRobb also re-enter the squad in the midfield and defense in a 4-3-3 shape for the first home match for Jeremy Hall, going away from a 3-5-2 back into a 4-3-3. As for St. Louis City 2, they're lining up in a 4-4-2 shape. For them, it's a more simple situation, an unchanged outfield unit. In goal, though, Nick Bishop is in for his professional debut, so both goalkeepers pro debuts. We'll see how that continues to impact things in today's match. He comes in for Christian Olivares, who had a clean sheet in the last match against Real Monarchs. This is a defense, though, for St. Louis. It's in a great vein of form with 2 clean sheets. That is your lineup for St. Louis City 2. First match is here in the month of May. Let's see our referees. It's important. All throughout the month of May, pro referees are going to be supporting Huntington's Disease Society of America's drive to increase awareness for the fight against Huntington's disease. They'll be wearing blue wristbands in honor of former referee Terry Vaughn. That'll be across MLS, USL, and NWSL matches. You can see in the center circle, Anya Voigt speaking there, our head official. So if you're watching any action up and down the country, those wristbands, part of that awareness campaign. These two teams, they've met 6 times all time. Last year, a few meetings between these sides. In the end, the first one was won by Minnesota 3-1, and then draws after that in the second and third meetings of 2023. I mean that it was a strong year in terms of the head-to-heads between these two sides for Minnesota, but we'll see how today's matchup ends up panning out. Again, Jack Edwards with you. A pleasure to share this one. Both teams coming off of different pauses. For St. Louis City, no match last week. They had a bye week. They were able to lower the intensity just a little bit, focus on some things. Talking to Bobby Murphy, just able to look less big picture and just, or more big picture rather, with no general focus on an opposition. They could look at some things they wanted to tweak themselves. As you see, they break from their huddle, St. Louis City 2 in the all-white kits. Defensively, they've been very difficult to beat so far this season. Just 3 goals conceded in the last 5 games, including clean sheets in the last 2 matches. And the All Blacks are Minnesota United FC2. Jeremy Hall spoke about his excitement to be at home for the first time, in front of family, in front of friends, in front of fans. They're in the all-black kits, heading from right to left. We're ready to get this one going, and we will indeed. Minnesota, St. Louis with the visitors. The first touches, it's brought down middle of the park. Bouncing through, will slide out wide. Randall. Hold-up play by Weah is well done. He earns the foul from behind, and within 20 seconds, it's a free kick for Minnesota. Mentioned that 4-1 defeat last time out against Sporting KC2. Weah scored the lone goal of the match for Minnesota. A Cameron Habibullah hat trick consigned them to a 3rd defeat in 4 matches. They won the match prior, a thrilling 4-3 win. They had a hat trick themselves in the form of Carlos Harvey. But that match on the 21st of April ended a several-week gap between league matches. The league match just before that one was Real Monarchs all the way back on March 27th. So not quite a month, but a bit less than that between league games. There was the Open Cup match against Michigan Stars that they lost in, so not an entirely 3-week gap there, but certainly some time between those matches. Down holding the leg after a bit of a late challenge. We'll see if any action's taken. Cage Romanchin, the offending party. Another look at this one. Knocked out of play, just a step slow. Michael Wenzel, player brought down, and there was no foul given. It was hard to tell if it was a whistle for a throw or a free kick, obviously with the ball in the hands of Finn McRobb, the captain. It was the throw, which will lead to the following goal kick. For St. Louis City 2, they're coming off of a 2-0 win against Real Monarchs. There's an early disallowed goal. Looked pretty clean for John Klein in the 5th minute. Wasn't given, had to wait all the way until the 54th minute to get their first goal of the match. Mickey Joyner was the player who scored that one to get the ball rolling. Caden Glover following things up in the 75th minute off the bench. Knocked upfield. Derek Dodson pushing that one forward. It'll be knocked down by Weah, but whistled for a free kick. The tussle between the forward and center back results in a foul going against the forward for Minnesota. Mentioned Weah getting his goal last time out, was his 2nd of the campaign. Ended last year on loan with Tulsa in the USL Championship. Also had a loan back in 2021 with Sacramento Republic. Getting a nice run of matches here now. His first time at home for Minnesota. Played up. Important touch put in. Referee was playing advantage, but opts to pull it back for the free kick. Right in the center circle. Clever from Juan Kazane to just step across that. The dark arts of the game, stopping the quick free kick, allowed his side to get set. Turned over by Minnesota. Now some numbers going forward for St. Louis. A dangerous ball between and off his line. Authoritatively done by Oliver Kelly. Mentioned him making his debut. He was on the bench for the first 4 next pro matches of the campaign. Committed to the University of Nebraska Omaha men's soccer program back in February. He's got a chance here between the sticks. On the flip side, another goalkeeper, Nick Bishop, coming in. He was on the bench 5 times in 2023, but made no starts. Just 17 years of age for the St. Louis native. Some breaking for St. Louis. Some numbers between the lines. Dangerous ball into the box. There's a challenge put in. There's appeals for a penalty, but it's a corner kick they'll get in the end. Mickey Joyner trying to get across that one. Important challenge put in, knocked out for the corner kick. Curled in, headed away, doesn't beat the first man. And actually rather a big correction to make. Bishop not making his professional debut. His 3rd start now. Had a mix up there, but he's in between the sticks again, coming back in for Olivares. Chested down. Foul from behind. Whistled the way of Minnesota. Opportunity to potentially put some numbers forward for a set piece delivery. Another look at that foul. Looks to be Cam Silly, a little slow to get up. Back to his feet. It's Dodson over. Free kick. They'll just play this one short to get the ball back rolling. Throw in, Minnesota. Early possession for both sides, more or less down the middle, 48 to 52% possession, slightly favoring the visitors. Long one over the top. Trying to play it across goal, took a slight deflection and it was almost spilled. But Bishop falls on it, and goalkeeper claims it. Bishop's last start coming in the 1-1 draw with Portland. His first start in that season opener against Colorado. Now he's making his third appearance here today. Just 17 years of age, still very experienced, with some matches already this year. Opportunity now, St. Louis driving this one into the box, trying to drag it across goal. Getting low quickly. Good reaction made. Kelly got down quick to get in front of that ball across the box. He's on it now, trying to play out from the back, and early conceding a possession for Kelly. Good press from St. Louis, forces the long ball out. Only goes to the feet of Eric Kinsner. Now, Minnesota. Both teams trying to quickly play this one forward after winning possession back. It's now St. Louis's turn to do that. Klein moves it out. The attempted delivery takes a big deflection. Klein flicks it down. Driving forward from deep is Silly. This one flying across on top of the box. First chance, first goal. Almost out of nothing for St. Louis. But a dream start just past 10 minutes. The visitors take a lead on the road. See this one again. Just bouncing around in top of the box. Juan Kuzain gets his first of 2024. 5 last year.
Scoring for St. Louis City 2 in the 11th minute, number 75, Juan Kuzain.
So an early blow for the hosts. How do they respond?
How's the iris?
Foul whistled against St. Louis, for St. Louis rather. Again, Kuzain lining up from a similar spot, bit further away this time round, jumps behind his opponent, commits the foul though. Kuzain trying to pass that time round, knocks down Malik Jesse Khan.
How's my iris?
Duggan, McRobb. Over the top. Can be seen how to play for the goal kick. Michael Wenzel, experience work done there, deep inside his own half. Trying to bring in the pass from Randall. Good challenge put in, but it bounces back for Minnesota. Clipped upfield. Takes a kind deflection for Misanvi. Trying a clever flick, but in the end, the angle was sealed off well. Strong work defensively done by Joyner. He's brought down. Chance is gone for Minnesota. It's a free kick for St. Louis. Ball forward. Duggan gets ahead to it. Klein moves it out. Delivery is a little low, it's blocked. Misanvi brought down, but it's a clean challenge. Enough of the ball was gotten for Voigt. McSorley on the turn, trying to play it out wide. Dodson steps and clears. Misanvi finishes the job and knocks it upfield. In the end, goes out for a throw very deep inside the St. Louis half.
Substitution for St. Louis City 2 in the 16th minute. Leaving the game, number 40, Michael Wenzel. And entering the game, number 50, Gabriel McKenna.
So you see that early sub will have to be made here by St. Louis. Cannot imagine it's tactical 15 minutes into the match. Michael Wenzel preparing to come out for Gabriel McKenna. Not too often you see a sub this early into the match for any reason other than slight injury. You did see Wenzel have to go drop to the pitch. So an early enforced change for City 2. McKenna on, Wenzel off. See if that impacts anything at all. Always challenging to get yourself up for the match. Having to come on so early on if you're a substitute, not quite into the immediate burst of the match. And not really warmed up a ton because you're not prepared to come on really until after first half ends. Goes out of play for a throw-in for Minnesota. This portion of the match is brought to you by Allina Health, and altogether better kind of healthcare. Learn more at allinahealth.org. Currently separated by a Juan Kazane goal back in our 11th minute. Just a moment ago, substitution. Michael Wenzel coming out for Gabriel McKenna. It's offsides. Misanvi just a step quick with his run. The flag goes up. It will be a free kick for St. Louis. Bouncing back and forth between the defense of Minnesota and the midfield of St. Louis. It comes now. Pierce goes down into the challenge. Referee says to get back up. We are the target of that one from Romanchin, but it doesn't quite come off. St. Louis come away with it. On the overlap, it's Reed. Plays it across goal. It was a dangerous delivery. Knocked upfield. It's played up. Weah goes down under the challenge, and St. Louis can try to carry it, but it's turned right back over. Saw the idea there. Randall, the target. It was well read by Pierce. Bishop. There is a player down still, so the referee will pause play. There was that challenge just a moment ago that wasn't fouled, or wasn't ruled a foul, I should say. Trainers will be signaled on and definitely in some discomfort. Let's see this one again. Just an awkward one for the left ankle. Looks like it might have been clean as a no foul call there, but down in some discomfort is Mikey Joyner. Fourth start of the year for Joyner. 1 goal on the season so far. 2023 was used as a substitute mostly with 13 appearances. They've already made 1 first half sub. St. Louis have. McKenna having to come on for Wenzel after he went down with a bit of discomfort, but back to his feet is Joyner. Good sign for him potentially to continue. But he will have to come off for at least 2 minutes after getting some treatment on the field. As it was, possession with the City 2 goalkeeper. That's how we'll get play back rolling with the drop ball from Anya Voigt. Bishop waves his players forward. Dodson repels it away. Curled out wide. Randall driving it into the box. Important support defensive work done. Take that one away. Diving in for that one was Justin Arias, and he was a step late. Whistled for the foul. Doesn't look like he'll be booked, but we'll get a quick talking to from Anya Voigt before he's sent back on his way. Pushed along by Arias. You can see Joyner serving out the rest of the minimum period he's required to be out of this match after going down for a bit of treatment for his left ankle. Romanchin, his touch a bit heavy. Dodson, clever ball forward. Masanvi the target. Making life difficult defensively, and he will be fouled from behind. Kinsner has his hands up, but he will actually be booked, maybe for a combination of the protests and the foul, but he becomes the first player booked in our match so far today. Center back from Tacoma, Washington will have to be careful now.
Yellow card caution issued to St. Louis City 2's number 72, Eric Kinsner, in the 24th minute.
Miki Joyner is back into the game, coming on after serving his 2 minutes out of the match. He'll come back in to make it even numbers for St. Louis as they prepare for this free kick. Khan delivers this one into the box. Came through. It was one to attack, and it's scraped away by CITY2 after some good defensive work done. Ooh, clever by Randall. Turned this one upfield. The clearance put in, knocked out of play by Kinsner. McRobb will take the throw. Romanchin controlling it. Switching play. Dodson the target. They'll get there. Masanvi on the underlap. It's played into him. Kinsner on a yellow, but obviously in the box. Has to be careful. Clipped. And easy in the end to claim for Bishop. The goalkeeper does well to deal with that. This portion of the match is brought to you by Allianz Life Insurance Company of North America, proud worldwide insurance partner of the International Olympic and Paralympic Committees. St. Louis carrying it forward. Knocked off Good defensive work by McRobb done in the end. There were two around him in white. He kicked it off one of them to earn his side the throw and deal with that threat. Just the two shots in our match so far, both of them for St. Louis, one of them finding the back of the net, that one being a 11th minute strike from Juan Kuzain. Here's a chance now. Randall just can't quite get his head to it to push it in front of him. Still a chance. He plays Weah in. One-on-one chance. Weah! Big time save put on by Bishop. McRobb gets the loose one. A few in the box to aim for Randall. Curls it in. It takes a deflection after the header by Patrick Weah. But a great save by Nick Bishop keeps this one at a 1-0 lead. Great opportunity, best of the match, first shot of the match for Minnesota. In the end, just using his left foot well. Bishop stayed big, made it difficult. Looking for his first clean sheet professionally. That will be a foul. Much to the frustrations of Brendan McSorley. Morris Duggan, player brought down. It's one of those fouls that is very hard to legislate. A defender back to goal, just on the ball, goes down under a challenge. If you don't blow the whistle there, if you keep it from being called, that's a big challenge. Put in an important intervention from Erickson. Dotson keeps it in play with the ball forward. If you don't call that, it's a big moment, because if a defender goes down looking for the foul to be called, you don't call it, it's a great chance out of nowhere. Here's Masanvi trying the nutmeg, doesn't quite come off, but he stays persistent, keeps with it. Romanchin offers the option. McRobb. Randall. McRobb continuing his run. Randall will curl this one. Nobody able to attack it, but it does bounce for Masanvi. Trying to draw the foul, will not do that. And Minnesota break through the press, and McRobb carrying it forward, slides it off. Kahn, his pass aiming for Weah, doesn't come off, but Weah drags it back. Randall. McRobb. Kahn. Pass intercepted, well read. Antwi getting a foot in. Now it's Jaden Reed. Dodson intercepts. Kahn. Dodson's pass. No one there to attack it. Masanvi had continued his run forward. He may have been the player in best position for that pass from Dodson, but Romanchin takes it for his side, but he concedes possession as well. No foul whistled. Good defensive work done. Tyson Pierce coming across to get a foot in. Overhit ball. Romanchin may have been offsides, held his run, and it's a throw now for St. Louis. live standings have St. Louis bumping themselves up to second place in the West with the point that they tentatively are getting here, or 3 points rather. Could be moving all the way from 6th to 2nd based on this one and how things break out elsewhere. McKenna, who again was a first half substitute coming in for Wenzel. They've done well defensively, St. Louis have, in terms of allowing him to grow into the game, not have to make an immediate action right after coming off the bench. Best chance they've conceded so far was that opportunity one-on-one for Weah. That one will be a foul from behind. Victor Eriksson making a second consecutive start. Goes to the back of his opponent. And it's a free kick for St. Louis. They will push some numbers forward and try and devise some set piece wizardry. Nodded away. Another foul. Juan Kazane brought down after a quick drop of the shoulder. Brought down by to have been Darius Randall, just leaving a leg in. Cillian Reed, the two players over it. It'll be Reed. Curl one in. It's under hit though. Easily dealt with. Now a chance potentially, a bit of an awkward one. Weah nods it up. Nisanvi, a foot race. And it's one in the end, an important one for Tyson Pierce to get a toe in. He concedes the corner, but he'll take that considering the potential of that opportunity on the break from Minnesota. Curled into the 6-yard box. In the end, claimed by Bishop. Pushed it out of that initial group and then picked it up. And he rolls it out for McKenna. Dodson whistled for the foul. Edge of the 18, Dodson defending after the dribble forward. It's a cross, goes down into the foul. Joyner from behind brings down Dodson and results in the free kick for Minnesota. 2 shots apiece for the two teams. Just under 10 minutes until we hit halftime. Randall pressed by 2, drags his way out of it brilliantly and pushes forward again. It will be a foul for a handball. And a yellow card given now to Seth Antwi. Becomes the second St. Louis player to be booked. It's a really impressive bit of work by Randall up this near side. Trying to drive forward.
St. Louis City2's number 49, Seth Antwi, in the 37th minute.
Another look at this one. Just drags it away from 2, and then you can see the hand. Cleverly done. May have been incidental, but definitely causing disturbance to the dribble of Randall. And it's now 2 players booked in Kinsner and Antwi. Sliced clearance. In the end, pushed forward a bit further. Great ball, but just a bad touch from Randall, trying to chase it down. He will get there, and he'll mend for the bad touch. He'll kick it off McKenna, and it's a corner now for Minnesota. Romancian. Curled in. Out of the delivery here today. And these set pieces has been a bit tame. Not quite beating the first players in the wall or in the corners. It's all the way back now. Kelly. It's a long one over the top. The flag stays down. Dodson playing it across for Weah. Gets ahead to it. And he puts it home, but the flag was up. Weah put his body on the line there to get his head into it first. So let's see this one again. It's in the back of the net, but it's ruled out. So Dodson was onside. It's impossible to tell from that vantage point. Assistant had a much better look of things. It's down to where the ball is versus where the forward is. Weah adjudged to have been ahead of the ball. It was brave by Weah. He knew that he was going to get clattered if he went into that one with Bishop. He did. In the end comes out. No goal, free kick after the offsides against Minnesota. This portion of the match brought to you by Bell Bank. You can switch and see how banking should be. Just over 5 minutes. Nearly a match-altering move for Minnesota. It was a long one over the top from Kelly. Dodson looked to have been onside from his run from right back. It was a pretty broken play. You could see what he was trying to do first time, just play it across to his striker. In the end, just offsides was Weah. Doesn't make it 2 goals in 2. Khan fouled on the turn. Attempted switch from Eriksson goes out of play. Throw in to come. Mentioned a bit earlier in the match, Jeremy Hall being his first home match. It was a challenge for both in the club at Minnesota as well as scouting for St. Louis. Talking to Bobby Murphy, saying just with the changes for them in their shape and staff means that it's really hard to know what to expect when prepping for Minnesota. And that change coming, Cameron Knowles moving on. It's picked up Weah. Few options, slides it across. Masanvi the target. He was offside, so the flag goes up. Randall is letting Weah know he wanted it played into him. The choice by Weah resulted in the offside decision, but back to the Jeremy Hall front. He was an assistant with the side in 2022 and 2023. He was helping with the first team for the first match. There's a lot of rotation in terms of the staff, based from the first team on down. Ripple effect being that Jeremy Hall named the head coach now. Getting himself acclimated now, almost a month into the role. This is his first chance at home to lead out his side. First 4 on the road, including this one, 5 of 6 at home. So the home cooking will be in full effect. Ability to rest up a bit more efficiently. Weah trying to backheel it back to Randall, but Weah was offsides. Looked to be just about the right call. He's been playing on the last shoulder of the defender. When you toe that line, you risk offsides being called against you. Flicked on by McRobb to Randall. Weah back, Arias. Dodson whips it in dangerously. Romanchin gets a touch to it. In the end, collected. Bishop does enough. It was fired into Romanchin at the near post, and he couldn't put it towards goal. Very tough one to shape towards goal with that left foot. May have been better served trying to catch it with the right foot, but much easier said than done. Another chance for Minnesota. Goes begging. The one-on-one for Weah. The disallowed goal for Weah. The 2 big ones, and obviously that chance, call it a half chance for Romanchin Jr. As we enter into the final minute of our first 45. That was just the 3rd shot for Minnesota. 5 in total between the 2 sides. Weah intercepts. He can slide it over. Randall. He's got Masanvi with him, trying to play him in. It slid back, and Bishop can put his foot through it and knock it upfield. Good last-ditch defending again from St. Louis, but they'll welcome the sounds of halftime. Bit on the ropes, a few chances creeping in for Minnesota. But there will be a few minutes of stoppage time. Looking like there's going to be about 4 minutes of it as a minimum added on to the end of our first 45. Kelly. Push from behind. Seth Antwi, who is on a yellow card. Should be noted. Important that he avoid too many more ticky-tack fouls like that, as you see the 4 minutes confirmed. Goal for St. Louis. There were 2 injury pauses. One for Joyner, who came back out onto the field. One for Wenzel, who had to come off, so a first half sub was made. McRobb. Duggan steps up. Arias. Here's Randall, 2 against him. Keeps it in play, dances across, and he pokes it, begging for someone to go knock it into the back of the net. No one was there to claim it. It's a throw in. That was magic from Randall. Up the end line. Another throw in. Just no one there to try and push that one into the back of the net. Randall doing everything he could to just beat his defenders and then just poke it into the space. Sanvi the target, and Bishop bravely off his line, he claims. Halfway through the 4 minutes. Bishop knocks it upfield. Dodson responds. Throw in. A touch from Masanvi came after the ball went out of play. Just about a minute left. St. Louis, I mean, they would obviously love to double their advantage, but could head into halftime up a goal if they see the current result out until our break after 45.
Redhead, can you hold on?
Two players down.
Redhead, can you pause for a second?
Goes out of play. Goal kick to come. Khan under some pressure, turns it over in the box, but it is a foul. Put in the net, but not before it was whistled. Mentioned that situation a bit earlier in the match when a defender concedes it right there. A lot of pressure on the referee to blow the whistle, not blow the whistle, because if that's not called, it's a golden chance for St. Louis that they obviously put home. But it was a foul. On first look, it did appear to be potentially a foul. Another one whistled against Minnesota now. St. Louis's first goal last time out in the 5th minute by Klein was disallowed for a foul on the goalkeeper. Looked to have been the wrong decision in hindsight. That one, though, on first glance, appeared to be the correct one, as we have just a few more moments of our first half. Added time on added time. And in it, a corner will come. There has to be some sense of urgency. This may be one of the last touches of our first half. A lot of curl on this delivery. Headed up, flicked on, and that will do it for our first 45 minutes. Some opportunities for Minnesota, unable to convert on any of them. The lone goal of our match coming from Juan Kuzain, separating the two sides. Our score at the half, it's Minnesota 0, St. Louis 1. Coming up, Michelle visits St. Louis when we come back after a short break.
Really sweet. Ahí está el centro. Gol. Maxi Mesa para pegarle. Maxi le pegó. Huerta. André. Servicio. It's saved by Carlos Coronel. Con autoridad. Centro. A la izquierda en las afueras del área. Le pega. Golazo. Externa, va a definir Chicho.
Welcome back. Our halftime score currently Minnesota 0, St. Louis 1 after 45. Michelle Montaigne wound up in St. Louis this week and has this week's edition of The Report. The shot. Oh, it's brilliant! They found an equalizer. They get a second to fully seal it. Glasgow!
We kick off the month of May from America's heartland. We're here in the gateway to the West. I'm Michelle Montaigne joining you from beautiful City Park. Now we have a lot to get to from here in the Midwest, but first we start with another historic milestone for MLS Next Pro. For the first time ever, 2 independent clubs competed in the first ever independent derby. Chattanooga FC hosted Carolina Core in front of nearly 4,000 fans, and Jesus Ibarra gave those fans something to cheer about early on, scoring the opener just 7 minutes into the match. Milo Garvanian added the insurance goal for the home side with his first ever professional goal, and with the win, CFC moves into first place in the Eastern Conference. Post-game, Rod Underwood discussed the significance of these 3 points.
We knew coming into this game it was about getting through this game. We knew that we needed to, look, I know the coach, I know the coaching staff. I knew they were prepared, and they were prepared. I knew it was going to be a difficult game, but there's no easy games in our league.
Let's take a look now at Chattanooga FC's upcoming schedule. The month of May kicks off with CFC hosting Orlando City B on May 4th. Then they'll have back-to-back matches on the road. Inter Miami on May 10th, followed by Crown Legacy on May 15th. They close out the month at home versus Atlanta United 2 on May 25th. As for the visitors, Carolina Core has just 3 more games to go on the road before their home opener on Saturday, June 1st versus Huntsville City FC. Make sure you mark that one on your calendars. From a first ever match between 2 independent clubs, we now shift gears to another MLS Next Pro first. Trailing 2-1 in extra time, Eric Hernandez scored his first professional goal in the 91st minute to equalize for Ventura County FC. His late game heroics kept the club atop the West and helped them sit at the top of the league with their 16 total points. Afterward, Hernandez described the feeling following his first pro goal.
Like that situation, I mean, I just saw opportunity and just went for it. I mean, I saw teammates open, but some people. Yeah, something told me to just hit it, and you know, thanking God for this opportunity. So anything for the win.
Sticking with the goals theme, this week a couple guys scored them in bunches. For the 5th consecutive week, there was a hat-trick performance across the league, and this time, once again, it wasn't just one player achieving the feat. Gerardo Valenzuela not only netted his first 3-goal performance, but the first hat-trick in FC Cincinnati's 3rd season. After scoring in his MLS Next Pro debut last week, he tripled his production in week 2.
We have a very good group of guys, you know, starting or even off the bench. So, yeah, I feel like this year is a very good year for the second team. We knew they were undefeated, and we just wanted to make them defeated, I guess. Yeah. So, wanted to beat them, take them off the undefeated board.
For Cameron Habibullah, what's more impressive than a hat trick is posting your second 3-goal outing in a span of 3 weeks. Habibullah now has 7 goals in the month of April and has SKC2 leading the league in goals for, but still gives credit to the group around him.
Yeah, I mean, I'm thankful that I was able to get it, but to be honest, I don't pay too much attention to that individual stuff. I'd rather win the game as a team, play as a team, and yeah, that was the highlight of the day, just the 3 points.
With 7 goals in April alone, Habibullah sits in 2nd place in the Golden Boot race, and no, it's not too early to talk about it. It's never too early to look at who's lighting up the league. New York Red Bulls 2's Roald Mitchell sits in sole first with 8 goals through 5 MLS Next Pro matches. Harold Osorio sits at 6, while a handful of players each have 4 on the season. Somebody's not just paying attention to the goals this season, but form overall. St. Louis City's Lutz Pfannenstiel, the sporting director of the club. And Lutz, I mean, this place has quickly turned into one of the best atmospheres in the entire league. What has made this club so special so quickly?
Yeah, I mean, the infrastructure, as you said, is pretty cool. I mean, I think we have the most modern facility in the country. Training facility just around the corner here as well, right in the city center. So I think that's really unique to have everything at one place in the heart of the town as well. And of course the success we had in year one, the success we had in year two in the next pro as well, but especially also building an academy in a city which has so much soccer culture made it a pretty unique opportunity, I think, for everybody. So far so good, but still a lot to do.
Thanks so much, Lutz. We're excited to see how far you guys go this season. And speaking of things we are excited about, there are a lot of other things making noise around MLS Next Pro right now. Some of the guys who starred in this league are now making their names known with their first team clubs. Former MLS Next Pro MVP and Golden Boot winner Jason Russell Rowe netted Cruz game winner in the first leg of the CONCACAF Champions Cup semifinal against Monterrey. Columbus would then follow up their first leg win with a 3-1 victory in the second leg, with the former Capybara Russell Rowe finding the back of the net once again. In MLS action, Inter Miami's Benjamin Cremaschi scored his first goal of the season against the Revolution in front of a record crowd in New England, and U.S. men's youth national team member David Vasquez capped off the highlights by inking a homegrown deal with Philadelphia Union. Now, some of those names earned their fair share of monthly awards during their time in MLS Next Pro. Now it's time to shine the light on our April award winners for this year. Newcomer Chattanooga FC takes home Team of the Month honors. After winning Player of the Week twice in April, Cameron Habibullah takes home Player of the Month, while Benny Feilhaber takes home Coach of the Month, both representing Sporting Kansas City 2. For the second straight month, Edward Davis is recognized as your rising star, having co-won the award in March. And taking home goalkeeper honors is Ventura County FC's Brady Scott, an award his coach Matt Taylor thinks he's more than worthy of.
I think it's great for Brady. He has put together some really good performances and is a great asset to his team, both on and off the field. His leadership and the way he mentors the younger players has really helped the team to this point so far in the season.
The standout performances from these guys in the month of April is a big reason why each of their clubs has landed in the top 10 of our MLS Next Pro Power Rankings. Ventura County FC tops the list once again, with the other SoCal team, LAFC2, taking the second spot. Chattanooga FC rounds out the top 3, and the team that plays right here in City Park finishes out our top 10. You can get a full breakdown of this week's Power Rankings, and as always, stay up with everything happening around the league at MLSNextPro.com. That does it for this episode of The Report. We'll see you soon from the City of Brotherly Love.
Our first half highlights and stats are coming up next, but first, we'll be back after a quick break.
Vamos, dale pues, vamos allá, muévete más loco como solo tú sabes, así es, con las manos en la cabeza, sacúdete, sacúdete, mira, sacúdete.
Really sweet. Ahí está el centro. Gol. Una Maxi Mesa para pegarle. Maxi le pegó. Fuerza. Al frente. Servicio. El tiro. It's saved by Carlos Corona. Con autoridad el centro. A la izquierda.
Back at Blaine Soccer Stadium to Minnesota United FC2 and St. Louis City 2. We're at the break. Currently, it's 1-0 St. Louis. We can look at our first half highlights and get a sense of what happened in our first 45 minutes to see where the teams fall entering into our second half. There's early chances, back and forth action, not a ton of shots overall, just 6 between the two sides across that entire match to this point. That one credited as a shot, but this one will break very kindly, just bouncing around. In the end, slides to the feet of Juan Kazane, and he buries it in the bottom left corner. Good left-footed finish. He was patient. He waited for it to fall his way, and he places it in the bottom left corner. That goal coming in the 11th minute. They came out with some more attacks, St. Louis did, trying to generate another opportunity. They wouldn't actually get another shot after that goal. Here in one-on-one, Patrick Weah, a great save by Nick Bishop, gets a left foot to it. Here, offsides is the verdict against Weah. He would be brave to get his head in there and then put it in the open net, but he was offsides. So that one obviously not counting. Dodson firing it into the box was very creative all throughout that match so far. You saw the assist on the disallowed goal, and there was some magic dribbling here up the near side by Darius Randall. Creates a chance with no one there to knock it home. We can begin to look ahead as well with our upcoming MLS Next Pro schedule on Saturday and Sunday. A busy Friday means a less busy Saturday and Sunday. The 3 matches on Saturday and the 4 on Sunday. Chattanooga FC taking on Orlando City B to round out Saturday's action. Real Monarchs have been part of the story for both of these sides in the early parts of their season. They take on LAFC2. Interesting matchup out there. That is your upcoming schedule. You saw those highlights. The goal, a big moment. Of course, goals change games. You see the sub taking place there as well. Jonah Gasho will be coming on now for look to be Derek Dodson. Indeed, Gasho in for Dodson. Comes the first sub made by Minnesota. Gasho, the St. Paul native, making his 3rd appearance of 2024. The sides will flip sides. The All Blacks on Minnesota, they'll be heading from left to right. St. Louis and the Whites will be heading from right to left. Just to run you through some of the stats from that first half. 4-2, the shots slightly edging Minnesota United. Both teams with 2 shots on target. Possession very even, 52% for Minnesota, 48% for St. Louis. But of course, 1-0 the score line. A Juan Kazane goal separating things at the break. We get ourselves back underway. An early turnover from Minnesota. A good tackle put in by Romanchin to try and win it back. I'm Jack Edwards with you for this one. Pleasure to share this match. As the substitution of Gasho is announced, the first home match of 2024 for Minnesota. Go on to the thought process on the substitution. Dodson was involved in some play. Very experienced right back, 25 years of age, coming from the USL Championship level, where he spent 3 years, first on loan at Hartford, then with Memphis, then with Charleston last year. It's turned over. Misanvi, he could try and curl one into the box, and the shot, it was from a tough angle. Weah, in the end, it was tame, but he did well to get anything to it to put it towards goal. Saved. Flicked along. They beat a few lines of press. Klein trying to push one forward. Early for Gasho. Called into action very early on at right back. Khan got a foot in. Gasho, he loses possession. Good work on the left side from Reed. Uses his strength and touch to keep the space. No shots after that goal from Kuzane. were some chances, as you saw during those halftime highlights. Weah the target of the throw, but it's knocked upfield. Weah was heavily involved. His one-on-one was saved. His goal disallowed. There was another chance we didn't show you in those highlights, but there was a foul going against St. Louis in a very advanced position. Their press almost paid off. They put the ball in the goal, but it was well after the whistle, so it wasn't quite a disallowed goal for a foul, but definitely nearly a big moment as it's turned over. Tracking back Khan, illegally done so, and the first yellow card will come out for a Minnesota player after he brings down Mikey Joyner.
Yellow card caution issued to MNUFC2 number 36, Malik Khan in the 48th minute.
See Khan going through the back there on Joyner. This is a free kick in a very intriguing position. Looks to be just outside shooting range, unless it's an absolutely thunderbolt of an effort. Four and white is an option to curl into the box. There's a wall of three in black, two in white. Off the training ground clearly with that move, but it breaks down, still in the box. A chance, the shot from Klein takes a deflection. Top of the box, it's played off by Silly. Ball forward, loops out of play by Pierce, and it goes out. Throw in now for Minnesota. From distance, oh, nearly special. Second look at this one from Joyner on the left foot, giving a bit of space to pop one. Looked like Kelly had the angle covered, but he had some interest in that. Intercepted by Joyner. They got some numbers forward. Joyner driving this one into the box. In the end, loses his footing and brings down Eriksson. And it's a free kick. But again, Joyner very involved in the early parts of our second half. Turned over. On the turn, the foul committed. Silly whistled for that one, bringing down Romanchin. Similar to the free kick for St. Louis. It's in a spot just beyond shooting range, but definitely one they'll practice quite a bit. Let's see the foul again. Romanchin receives it. Looks like Silly just about too overzealous in his pressure from behind. Arias and Romanchin are the two over it. And Romanchin to take. And it draws a great save out of Bishop. Chance not gone. It's an important headed intervention. Klein plays it upfield. Now it's St. Louis on the break. McSorley. That's a great switch. Moves the point of attack. Pierce. Silly. Back to Pierce. That one almost breaking kindly, but it's knocked upfield. Good challenge put in. McSorley out wide. Trying to return it, but it's turned over. Kazane. High press put in by St. Louis. Gasho. (4-4-2) offers them a almost 4-2-4 in the press at times, but you see them slink back into a more 4 across the midfield. Misanvi the target. Getting there though was Reed. He hooks that one out. Throw in for Minnesota. That was a throw in, but it was almost played off as a toss over to say, all right, you take the throw, but definitely looked like it was a proper throw in from Misanvi. Referee either didn't spot it or didn't feel it to be a proper throw. Still with Minnesota. Randall is brought down. It's a free kick. They go quick. The shot from distance goes just over. It's a goal kick. On the play. We can flash back to this free kick from Romanchin. You'd expect Bishop to make the save, but he made it nonetheless. From that distance would have needed to be extraordinary. And that one was just good. Good save to match it by Bishop. He's been called into action now 3 times, and he's answered all 3 times. Throw in now after the ball put out of play by Kelly. Romanchin brought it down, but it's taken off his foot. Now with Antwi. Whoa, good drop of the shoulder. Drawing in the defenders, and he turns the corner very well. Great bit of dribbling, and it comes to a foul in the end. He was incredibly determined, Seth Antwi. And for his troubles, he earns a free kick and a hefty challenge that leaves him on the ground. Need some attention here. Holds off the challenge. Knows he's going to potentially get clobbered if he gets there first. He did. He was brought down. He is down. I hope it's just the wind getting knocked out of him, but he will get some treatment. He'll have to come off for 2 minutes at a minimum after this. He's holding the left shoulder. Antwi coming out of High Point from last season. It was Big South first team, previously at Dayton, making 55 appearances between 2019 and 2022. This here is his 7th appearance of the new campaign. He's got an assist and been involved in our match here today. He's back to his feet. First promising sign, but he will have to come out of the match for at least 2 minutes. We'll see if a sub is prepped for St. Louis to make the tweak regardless. They're currently down a player, though, for this upcoming sequence. Cleared. Takes an awkward spin. Important headed intervention. Masanvi, goalkeeper off his line, tries it from distance. It's saved. Weah, and he gets in. Utter chaos, and the hosts capitalize. They equalize. Third of the year for Patrick Weah. Let's see it again. The spin forces Bishop into a header. Masanvi, ambitious first time, and it comes awkwardly to Bishop, and the power on the shot proved to be too much from Weah. And he celebrates at the corner with his teammates. It's 1-1. Won't win awards for how pretty the goal was, but they count exactly the same. Rewarded for his run over the top. He had one disallowed in the first half. That one would not be disallowed.
Scoring for MNUFC2 in the 58th minute. Number 29.
It's hard to tell from the vantage point, but Toronto collects, plays it forward, aiming for Weah. This is an important moment for both sides. What does this jolt of momentum do for both teams? It's one of those interesting offsides rules that could have cropped up. I don't think it did, but the offside rule isn't the last outfield player, it's the second to last defending player. And typically that's the last outfield player, and the goalkeeper is the last one. But in that instance, with Bishop coming off of his goal so far, if he went past his center back, he would become the offsides line, and Weah, if he was past the goalkeeper, would have been offsides, but certainly did not look like that was a situation that ended up arising. Antwi is good to come back into the match, both in terms of fitness as well as the on-field treatment rule. He's back on, and it's 11v11 again. Masanvi dropped in for him. The flag does go up. Mentioned it right when it happened and afterwards for Masanvi, but that goal doesn't come about if he's not ambitious and honestly very skilled with his touches there. Clean challenge. They will stop play to throw in, but down is Reed. Certainly a heavy challenge from Masanvi. It's obvious, but that goal for Minnesota, evidence of why fewer touches are better, and just making an action quickly can really change things. Just having that shot from distance leading to that goal. This portion of the match brought to you by Allina Health, an altogether better kind of healthcare. Learn more at allinahealth.org. Knocked back out of play. There was a bit of afters there that will cause our head official, Anya Voigt, to have a quick word. Again, you can see the blue wristband. Mentioned it at the beginning of the match, but those will be worn by referees throughout the month of May across the MLS, USL, NWSL as part of the support for Huntington's Disease Society of America's drive to increase awareness of the fight against Huntington's disease. All of those in honor of former referee Terry Vaughn. Tomorrow will be 1 year since his passing. So we're all even here, 1-1. First half goal from Kazane. Equalized with a second half goal from Patrick Weah. Had that kind of sense to him, Weah did, where he was very involved, sniffing around goal, had the one-on-one, the offsides situation. Felt like he was bound to put that one into the back of the net and have it count today, and in the end, it did. He kept his run going, made life difficult for Bishop on the first header, stayed with it in the box, and when the ball came loose to him, ended up making the save. But the rebound fell to Weah. And a really clever first touch to take it around Bishop, who really had to commit himself on that first attempt that he thought may come in from Weah. So we got ahead to it, but it's Khan now. Past an hour into the match now. We'll see what subs continue to be made by both sides. One first half change from St. Louis. 1 at halftime for Minnesota. Still 4 more to be made by both teams. Gasho throws it in. Touch invites the press. Randall plays it off. Weah returning it to Randall. Get in there first. And in the end, able to use his strength to see it out. McKenna. Went across. Saw that one out of play for the goal kick. Throw in, St. Louis. Stat update for you, 9 shots to 4 Minnesota leads, 5 of them being on target for the home side, 2 on target for St. Louis. Possession slightly in favor of the home team, 51% to 49%. Header flicked along, Eriksson. Goal kick now coming for St. Louis. This is one to chase over the top. McSorley. It's poked away, but it bounces kindly. The goal scorer, Kazane, into the box. Klein drags it back. Trying to play that one across. Antwi will pick up the loose one. Bisanvi tracks back, gets there ahead of Reed. Trying to beat him with pace. Goes down. Concedes possession. This match having a bit of a different pace to it. Just the lack of foul calls. It's been consistent. As I say that. There is a foul. That one of the more obvious ones, the tug to the ground by Gasho, may have been spun by Joyner. But typically the match has had a more physical element to it due to a more lenient foul perception from Anya Voigt. It comes now here as a free kick. A chance to try and retake their lead for the visiting side. Silly. It's low, it bounces. It almost proved to be awkward. Weah brings it down. Got a lot of work to do to carry it forward. Romanchin. McRobb. Headed away. Good bit of footwork. It's out wide. Joyner, one-on-one, driving it, trying to drag it across goal. It bounces all the way through to Kelly. He'll roll it back out quickly. Finn McRobb, but it's defended well. Antwi, who is on a yellow card. Now a throw for Minnesota. All-time CITY2 unbeaten in their away matches in Minnesota. A win and a draw that went to a shootout. They have had some success on the road. 6 all-time meetings. Minnesota with 2 wins. Just 1 defeat. All time against St. Louis too. First meeting last year, Minnesota won it 3-1. The next 2 went to shootouts after draws. This one currently poised for a shootout. Over the top. Duggan confidently done, knocking it upfield. Sanvi going to try and make life difficult, harassing the defenders. But Makina, no doubt about it. Poor header. Joyner. Wants a corner. Gets it. Excuse me, no he doesn't. Goal kick given. Now a chance for some substitutions to happen.
Substitutions for St. Louis City 2 in the 68th minute. Leading the game, number 80, Brendan
Juan Kazane and Brendan McSorley will make way.
46, Caden Glover.
Caden Glover came off the bench last time out to score a goal. Comes on again today, as does Ryan Betcher. Both of them making appearance number 7 of the campaign. They'll come on right away and get up the field. Romanchin plays one over the top. Randall the target. Dangerous ball out from the back. Romanchin, that was a push from behind. You can see the frustration there for Cam Silly. You can understand it considering how, I don't want to say soft it is, but we'll see it again here. It's the two hands for me. Ball's gone, but you just put the two hands in the back and push them over. It just makes it an easy call, and in the end it was made. And it's a free kick for Minnesota in a position of real promise. Romanchin will take it again. He had the free kick from a similar spot, be saved by Bishop. This time round goes over the top. Goal kick. Clearly trust him and his set piece efforts. The press put on from Minnesota. Brave header by Eriksson. It's played up. Kept in play by Joyner. Good run being made, but surely offside, and the flag will go up. Just too early on the run there from Glover. 17-year-old whistled offsides. Very exciting young player. 7 goals last year. Scored last time out. Sealed the result in the 75th minute. Dangerous pass. Important intervention made by Pierce. He'll again get on the ball. Use his body to shield it. The 1-2 back to him. Misanvi gets ahead to it. Poked away. Will be a corner kick now after Kinsner got a toe to it. Curled in. Right into the near post. Appeals from both sides. It comes out to be a corner kick. Certainly bouncing around. Looked like it wasn't a corner destined to beat the first man, but in the end it almost sat up for a shot with the feet by a player at the near post, but it was put out of play. We'll do it again. Arias curls this one in. Good punch away. Bishop had to be brave, and he was. Throw in. Khan. Again displaying tidy footwork. McRobb, his attempted ball blocked before he could play Masanvi out wide to the near side. Big challenge put in. Two balls in play across goal. It's claimed. Bit naughty there from Jonah Gasho, and for that he will be booked for putting the second ball into play. Technically can't play with two balls in play, but you know, you're able to keep the play going, knowing that that was an obvious attempt to try and just, on a technicality, stop play. And so watch, he thinks it's his throw, it's not his throw, he sees the ball go in play, and he says, the ball looks good right here. In the end, nothing comes from it for St. Louis. But again, good refereeing from Anya Voigt. Let play continue. Don't let the little bit of dark arts stop the play from happening, but also go back with a bit of discipline. I wonder what happens if he just throws the ball. It's a kind of interesting, probably would never happen, but he just throws the ball at the other ball. I wonder if it's a red card offense. Probably out there somewhere in the rule books, but the yellow card there was more so just for the poor sportsmanship by putting the second ball in play. Gasho was booked. Two players for both sides now, both given yellow cards. It's turned over. Khan. Over the top. Joyner gets there. Poked out of play. Erickson gets a toe to it. Mekhi Joyner has been a handful to deal with all this match for Minnesota. In that instance, Erickson ranging over from center back to get a toe in. Cam Silly. He's got opportunity now with the corner kick. Silly. Back post. Masanvi can take a touchdown to try and deal with it, but it's played out wide for Silly. Second chance potentially here. Across goal. Takes a deflection, and it's cleared away. Important intervention from Look-to-be Khan. Just to block that pass across goal. Glover trying to put that one in play. Two subs now can be made for the home side. Britton Fisher, as well as Andrew Heckenleibel, will both be able to come into the match.
Substitution for MNUFC2, leading the game, number 40, Victor Erickson.
See Victor Erickson, as well as Darius Randall, making their way out of this match.
Fisher. Also leaving the game, number 57, Darius Randall.
Two changes left for both sides. Two sub-periods to make them for both sides, should they wish. A few more cards to be played by both coaches in the final minutes of our match. We'll see how things end up playing out. I wonder if it's ever a thought process bringing on a player specifically for penalties. If you sit on a sub long enough, sub could be made in that thought process. Outside the boot, forward. Glover got there. Now it's Reed to the near post, and it's dealt with. Kelly was hopeful it was going to get all the way to him. It did in the end. And the debutant making the claim. Kai Zaroon on the bench. As a debutant in goal last time out. It's a challenging environment to Your first pro start in at Sporting KC2. In the end, conceded 4 goals and a 4-1 defeat. Certainly learn from the good as well as learning from the bad. Sometimes harsher lessons are better ones. It's Gasho. Good drop of the shoulder. He was fouled. Referee let him play continue. Good feel for the match. Long ball forward took a deflection. Pierce brings it down. Romanchin, McRobb plays it out centrally to Khan. It's taken off his foot, turned over, but Khan tracks back to make sure nothing comes from his turnover. Like a magnet, Khan back to it. Turned over, 2 players down. Play continues for St. Louis. On the left foot now, played across. Joyner trying the shot, it's a brilliant one. In the 80th minute, they retake the lead. Goal number 2 of 2024. Let's see this one again. Holding his position out wide, puts it onto the left foot, and that is an extraordinary finish into the top left corner. Micah Joyner, the finest moment of quality in our match so far. Juan Kazane in the first half, equalized by Patrick Weah. Now retaking the lead on the road. Micah Joyner. As a sub is made here, Rory O'Driscoll will be coming on into the match.
Substitution for MNUFC2.
Justin Arias will be coming out of the match.
Number 42, Justin Arias.
Coming in is Rory O'Driscoll. Well, we're back underway now. This portion of the match brought to you by Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Minnesota. You and Blue, better together. Important moments coming up here. Poised for a 4th win of the season, our St. Louis could be consigned to a 4th defeat in 5 games for Minnesota, unless things change in the next 9 minutes plus stoppage time. Header forward. Joyner already won today. He's into the box. Joyner can he keep his composure? Puts it wide of goal. He drew in Kelly, who made the challenge, but in the end puts it wide of goal. O'Driscoll. Gasho. His pass turns it over. Glover shows off a bit of strength to hold off the challenge. Plays it off. No foul. quick ball forward off his line. Again, important intervention by Bishop. Next up for the Loons is a date with Western Conference leading Ventura County FC on May 12th. We'll have it for you beginning at 3 p.m. Eastern on MLSNextPro.com. Misanvi plays it off. 2 subs being prepped for St. Louis. Will be the final 2 of the match so far for the visiting side. Big challenge put in there. It will be a foul. This is a free kick in a very interesting spot. Eric Kinsner. He's on a yellow card. That one didn't look like it rose to yellow card part 2 offenses, but certainly a hefty challenge. If a yellow is given for that, you're not surprised, but I don't think it's second yellow card worthy. Rory O'Driscoll. Fires it. Knuckles. It might break, but it's going to be a foul. It looked like he may have been kicked in the head. Nick Bishop. Almost being spilled. Let's see this one again. This from O'Driscoll. Just utterly wild knuckling. It's spilled. Yeah, I think that's a foul. Ball isn't quite claimed by Bishop, so it's not like it's been kicked out of his hands, but definitely too overzealous in the challenge. This portion of the match brought to you by Target. Target is here for the love of the Loons. Nearly a moment there to equalize, but it just didn't fall quite right. This one here flicked on by Misanvi via the target. It's knocked away. They're knocking on the door, but we'll see if anything can come from this. Before we'll see that, we'll have some substitutions to come in here. John Klein will make way, as will the current match winner coming on, Carson Locker, as well as Dita Armstrong, the final 4th and 5th changes here in the 86th minute. Makai Joyner, his extraordinary left-footed strike is what separates the 2 sides. Both goal scorers for St. Louis now on the bench. They're all geared up to try and see this one out at the current score line. They've conceded just 6 goals, including this match, in the previous 5 games. 2 clean sheets in that time period. Very defensively strong are St. Louis. They've brought on subs to try and help the effort, but they've conceded the corner kick, and they'll put all their numbers in the box to try and deal with it. Curled in, headed down, headed up and over. That one came quick to Misanvi after the header across frame. Don't miss John Klein and CITY2 as they battle it out against the defending champs Austin FC2 on Sunday, May 12th. Our coverage from City Park Stadium begins at 7 p.m. Eastern on MLS Season Pass. Julian Banks coming in now. Patrick Weah making way. Scored his 3rd of the season in this match. It was a pure number 9 goal. Just put yourself in the mixer, see if it falls your way. It did. It's foul, middle of the park, going against Minnesota. It's a free kick for St. Louis. Long one forward, headed away, headed down. On the turn, Was always a tough effort, but not quite caught right from Betcher. Last touched by Locker. Foul from behind. Long ball forward, touchdown. Masonvi gets a toe in. Challenge from behind. They wanted a foul for a penalty, nothing given. Loic Masonvi. He's still down, probably just feeling the effects of a long, long match. It's 89 minutes gone. And he thought he had won it back and potentially won a penalty, but nothing doing. He'll be back to his feet. Long ball forward. Throw in now, Minnesota. God, great strength to try and create something from it, but it bounces away. Locker. Long ball forward from Pierce. Foul going against Minnesota. St. Louis can kill more time off this clock as we enter into 4 minutes of added time at the end of our match so far. 4 minutes for St. Louis to see out the results and for Minnesota to try and find a route back into it. Set us up for a shootout. Nothing coming from the free kick. They turn possession right back. It's a goal kick. That one's going to bounce awkwardly and actually will hit Masonvi last, so it should be a throw for St. Louis, and it will be. That one almost utterly comically bouncing in the favor of Minnesota. It's a foul from behind. Free kick Minnesota. Not much time at all. So they have one last big chance in them. One last crack at goal at the very least. Khan. Masonvi the target. He gets there. The flag stays down. Gasha with him. Clips it up into the box, and it's claimed. Strong work by Bishop. And he'll fall on it, a bit belatedly so. He'll hold this for every second he can. He'll roll it out to kill even more time. They're halfway through the stoppage time almost. As Khan. A touch, ball over the top. Masonvi again the target. Quick across the box. That's incredible from Bishop off his goal line. Claims that one, knowing that several players sprinting in. Andrew Heckenleibel, one of them. But if he doesn't get that, I think Heckenleibel does for the equalizer. No shot there, but a goal-saving intervention, at least in my book, from Bishop. Bit of unfortunate situation for the goal that he conceded. It just was fired at him after he came off his line to make the intervention. Spilled it a little bit, was beaten by Weah. But other than that, he has been very, very good between the sticks today for St. Louis. Kicked upfield. Fisher trying to pick out McRobb. It's too strong. Just 1 minute of the minimum remaining. Bishop's goal kick. Headed down. Trying to get stuck in. It's knocked away. Locker. Armstrong. Turns away. It's knocked out. Throw in for St. Louis. Another throw for the visitors. We're past the minimum. There's a glance at the watch. But we're not quite through yet. Foul. This one going against St. Louis. Maybe one last chance. One last throw of the dice. It sits up. It's through. Misanvi, one-on-one. It's saved. And it's cleared away. And that's the last action of the match. Nick Bishop saves the 3 points for St. Louis. Loic Misanvi collapses to the ground. He had the chance. But what a save at the death. It broke kindly. Not a terrible strike from Misanvi, but a strong right hand from Bishop. And he sees out the results. A 2-1 win for St. Louis. We can look at our man of the match after this game. It was a competitive one between the two sides, but you have to give it to the match winner. Mekhi Joyner gets it onto the left foot and just leathers it into the top left corner. And he is our Adidas man of the match. Mekhi Joyner, seeing this one out with the game-winning goal in the 80th minute, made things 2-1. And a pleasure to bring this one to you. But one last time for our entire MLS Next Pro broadcast crew, I'm Jack Edwards saying once again our final score is St. Louis 2, Minnesota United 1. Don't forget you can watch MLS Next Pro all season long at MLS Season Pass on Apple TV and MLSNextPro.com. Have a great rest of your night.
This copyrighted broadcast of Major League Soccer may not be retransmitted, reproduced, or rebroadcast without the express written consent of Major League Soccer.